Good evening. Welcome to Gambit's television show. My name is Nick Marinello. Look, put the remote control down and watch us, because we have a whale of a show. I know we have a lot of competition. We have LA Law, we have 2020 on the other stations, but this is going to be an example of fine local programming. Twice a year, Gambit puts out a special edition which features dining out in New Orleans. Well, we did it again this week, and we put out the Winter Restaurant Guide. It hit the streets today, and this is what it looks like, real small, and this is what it looks like if we can get a shot of this, blown up. Hold it, if we get a shot of this, blown up. Blown up, or we can keep looking at this. Here it is, Winter Restaurant Guide that was blown up and expertly colored in by our two new interns, Marie and Sue. Thanks a lot. Okay, with me tonight is Lisa LeBlanc Berry. LeBlanc Berry. The Urbane Gourmet, who not only writes our weekly food column, but also had a great deal to do with putting this massive issue together. Lisa, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Well, the first thing I want to know is, how do you get into doing what you do, reviewing restaurants? Where does it start?
Well, it's a lot of fun to begin with. That's where it starts.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
A lot of good eating.
I became interested in food about 3 years ago when I went to cooking school in Paris at Cordon Bleu. And when I returned to New Orleans, I was going to either open a restaurant or write about them. And so I went in the other direction, and I became a food critic for a Ware magazine, and which I'm now the editor of. Ware magazine is a monthly publication, right? It's a monthly publication for visitors. For visitors. And it's distributed in all the major hotels. And recently, a few months ago, I began to write for Gambit as an Urbane Gourmet. Right. And so that's where I am today. What is the, in Paris you went to where now? The Cordon Bleu Cooking School. Is that top-notch? Is it like Harvard for cooking schools? It's the best. It's the best? It's the best, yes. Where do you, what do you learn at a cooking school? Is it a lot of written exams, essays, and word problems? Probably not, I'd guess. Well, actually, it's a lot of practical. You go to labs, and you sit there in a classroom full of about 20 other people from all over the world. And they're in French. All the classes are in French. And there's a head chef, and he does some marvelous dishes. And you sit there and you take notes, and then you get up and try it. And then you try it. You try to do it. You try to do it, and you also get to eat it. So. Well, as part of the issue this week, you did a little feature called "The Making of a Chef." Yes. Which really talked about the Delgado School has an apprenticeship program. Is that correct? And is that what's going on over there? The same type of thing? Yes, it's the same type of thing. But they have something in addition to that. They not only have practical classes, but they also have very good managerial classes for the hotel and restaurant industry. And it's a lot more in-depth than Cordon Bleu. And you call that industry a growth industry in New Orleans? It very much is so. Do you know if, even during this economy, the restaurants seem to be opening up all the time? Yes, with the Louisiana economy dwindling, which is it's in a very bad course right now, it's amazing how many new restaurants have been springing up in New Orleans. From St. Charles Avenue, we have the Eiffel Tower, and De Novo. We have Alex Patou's Cajun Restaurant. In the French Quarter, we have Scruples. We have Café Anglaise, which replaced the Andrew Jackson. We have a host of new restaurants in New Orleans. Well, I'd like to talk a little bit about all of them, but the first one that really gets my attention is the Eiffel Tower. It sounds exotic. It really is the Eiffel Tower restaurant, isn't it? It really is the Eiffel Tower restaurant. 3 years ago, the Eiffel Tower was the actual restaurant, which was perched on the second floor of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, was causing cracks in the structure. So the French government made the restaurateurs take the restaurant out of the Eiffel Tower, and it was sold to developers in France. And then the guy who finally ended up with it... What do you mean they took it? They physically dismantled it from the Eiffel... Piece by piece by piece? Piece by piece. 1,800 pieces. 1,800 pieces, and they put it on in a warehouse somewhere, and what? Well, no, then they sold it to this guy, and he was going to call it the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and the French government said, no, you can't do that. so they sold it to American developers.
Was it kind of red tape type of?
Red tape.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically French.
Oh.
And so they sold it to American developers, and it sat in a warehouse for 2 years, collecting dust. And finally, Daniel Bonneau of New Orleans, he's originally from Paris, but he lives in New Orleans. He's a great chef, and he bought the restaurant and stuck it on St. Charles Avenue, and it's incredible.
Okay, we're going to get back to that, but right now I want to say we're live. This is live television, and you can call in and talk to us. You can ask Lisa anything you want about food or dining out in New Orleans, or tell us about a dining experience you had. What's our number? I never can remember this. I should. I think it's 568-9999. That's 568-9999. It's on the screen. Okay, back to the Eiffel Tower. Now, it's really an imposing, it's startling to see. It's a big glass building.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've never been on, you've been on the inside. You've been there. Okay.
Yes.
Is it all glass on the inside?
It's actually, it's glass and steel, and has beautiful, it's just beautifully done. It rises to a peak of 88 feet. It's 9 stories high.
9 stories?
It looks like a big kaleidoscope. And there are chairs sculpted by Maria Villa. It's just beautifully done. It's in the Grand Cafe style.
And this is exactly what we would have seen, but inside the Eiffel
yes,
Tower.
But it's prettier. It's better.
It's prettier.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But it was the same, the interior, the decor is the same, no?
No, it's really not the same. They did they only took 6 motifs from the original structure and worked around that, but they've changed it quite a bit.
So the next question is, how's the food there?
It's depending on what you order. It can be good, and some dishes quite haven't arrived yet. And I think it takes a while for all of the each restaurant that opens. It takes several months to realize its true power, and I think the Eiffel Tower is yet to do that.
To get into gear?
Yeah, I think we need to give it a little more time.
Okay. We got a call here. Let's talk to Michael. Hi, Michael.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, I was wondering, what's a great place to go for gumbo and jambalaya in New Orleans?
Gumbo and jambalaya. I think there are a couple places.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
the whole city has gumbo. This is Gumbo Town. But gumbo, as we know it in New Orleans, is seafood gumbo.
Fantastic.
Yes, now, Eddie Baquet's on Law Street, I think, has the best seafood gumbo in town.
All right. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Michael, it sounds like you're in a restaurant right now, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Where are you?
I'm at the Bombay Club.
Where are you at? The Bombay Club. Are you eating gumbo?
No, I mean, it's a charming time to be here, though. It's quite romantic.
The Bombay is a great spot.
Yeah.
How's the food at the
And
Bombay?
everyone here is just waiting to hear more about this city. They love the food.
Oh, so we got a captive audience.
Yes.
All right, thanks for calling in, Michael.
All right.
All righty.
Thank you.
You've been to the Bombay
The
Club.
Bombay Club is excellent.
It's in the quarter.
It's in the quarter. It's right behind Marty's, where Marty's used to be. And,
Okay, yeah.
and
what street is that? St. Philip, St. something or the other?
I can't recall the name of the street. It's right behind Marty's. But it's wonderful. The owner is Mark Turk, and it's a little out-of-the-way place. It used to be the old
It doesn't sound very out of the way right now.
It's popular. It's real popular, and the chef there was formerly with the Sazerac. And they have the best burgers, 8-ounce burgers in town, a variety of burgers and steaks, and they have delicious daily specials, and it stays open real late.
It's a good place to take would tourists like to go there if they're in town?
Yeah, but they don't know about it. It's a local
It's a local
hangout.
place, okay.
Yeah, it's a real hot spot.
I've got Paul on line 2. Paul.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to know, we have some friends coming into town for Mardi Gras, and I wanted to know if there's any new places to go out by the lakefront that you might recommend. There's so many restaurants out there, and they change so much.
The
What
lakefront.
do you recommend out by the lakefront?
Well, I think the most happening place out of the lakefront is Bart's. That is, it was renovated, I think over a year ago, and it's just beautiful. And it's also a very popular place to go on Sunday afternoons when the weather is nice. It's nice. It's located right next to the point and has a great view.
I believe there's a balcony
There's
out
a
there
balcony,
where you can sit and
you
have
can see all the
cocktails
yachts. Yeah, that's where I'd recommend to go.
I remember Bart's used to have great fried seafood platters and all that.
They've got that, and they've embellished the menu quite a bit.
How so? Have they gone into more elaborate?
They have really nice crab meat dishes, crab meat salads, and hot entrees, and soft shell crabs. And
Oh, boy.
yeah.
Sounds good. We're going to be hungry by the time the show's
Yeah.
over, I have a feeling. Listen, we got Soniette on line 3. Soniette?
Hello. I'd like to know if there's a wonderful place to go and have caviar in New Orleans.
Caviar, that's a good one.
Yes, actually, caviar is a new trend in New Orleans. I shouldn't say new, but it's starting to become very popular again. And Café Anglaise is a new restaurant that is located in the French Quarter. It's the old Andrew Jackson's, and they have a caviar bar and champagne by the glass. Also, Flagon's just opened up a caviar bar, and the Fairmont Sazerac has an excellent caviar bar.
A caviar bar. Now, what does one do when one goes to a caviar bar?
Well, it's not really a bar per se. Caviar bar means a menu
Oh, okay.
with caviar on it, and it usually has accompaniments with it, and it's a new trend.
Are we looking at like a bundle of money when you go
Bundle of money, like maybe $62 an ounce. Yeah.
Are you still there, Sonia?
Not cheap.
Okay, well, thanks for calling. I'm interested in this caviar bit now. It's $62 an ounce, and this is from Russia.
Depending on where you...
good.
Savruga or Asientra, yes, there are several different types that are excellent. And
I suppose you don't wash it down generally with
no,
beer
you don't chase it with beer.
or Coke or something.
No, you generally drink or vodka, chilled vodka.
Chilled vodka?
Yeah, Russian, of
It
course.
sounds very exotic.
Yeah.
And Tim. Hi, Tim, you're on the air.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. I wanted to ask,
Are you at the same place, the Bombay Club? Okay.
wanted to find out what she would consider the best skytop restaurant, which would have the best view in the city.
The best skytop restaurant in the city, I would say, is the Plimsoll Club. It has. I was dining there last night. It has a stunning view of the city.
Yeah. Tim, can you hear us?
Barely. Yeah, I just want to know which one she considered the best skytop restaurant with the best view of the city.
Okay, I'm going to punch you out because you're making a lot of noise over there.
Okay.
But y'all call back if you have anything else you want to ask.
All right.
Okay, let's continue this. Best skytop,
I think is the Plimsoll
the
Club.
Plimsoll Club, and that's located in...
And the World Trade Center, which was formerly the ITM building. Yeah, and it's you have to be a member to go. That's the only prohibitive part, but it's a beautiful view.
You've got the river.
The river and all the city lights, and they serve excellent French and Creole
Now,
cuisine.
is that the same place as the Top of the Mart, or is the Top of the Mart still
Different. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's not the same.
there? Is it on the same floor, or is it just as high?
No,
I mean, a
it's-
floor or two, it doesn't really matter when
It's
you're
different.
up so many thousand
It's a
feet.
different place.
Okay, and what about the Top of the Mart?
I haven't been there in about 10 years, so
I remember the
can't
big
recommend
feature was
one
that
way
it
or
goes
the other.
around in a circle.
Goes around in a circle, but you don't feel it.
You know, we're getting calls left and right. Here's left. Cindy, hi.
Hi,
How you doing?
fine, and you?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'd like to ask where is the best Mexican restaurant in New Orleans?
I would have to say Tio Pepe's in the French Quarter. Yes, Tio Pepe's restaurant. The fajita craze has really taken the city by storm.
What is a fajita?
Fajita is strips of beef and chicken marinated, and you serve it with a soft flour tortilla and all the accompaniments like tomatoes and lettuce, and you make your own enchilada or taco or whatever it is. But it has great fajitas.
Is this a new restaurant, Tio Pepe's?
It's about 2 years old.
2 years old.
Yeah.
And what else?
It's a mom and pop team. It's a real
So it's pretty local family type of...
local family kind of place.
Our number is 568-9999. 568-9999. Cindy, you still there? You have any other
still
questions?
here. No,
Oh, I'm
that's-
sorry.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Is Tio Pepe's have anything else on the menu that we might want to know about?
Everything the Mexican restaurants have, Tio Pepe's has it.
Is Mexican restaurant, in Chinese we have Cantonese, we have Hunan, we have different provinces. Mexican, is it basically the same type of food? Or if I go to two separate restaurants, may I be looking at two different types of cuisine?
I think you get pretty much the same.
The same thing,
pretty much
right?
the same stuff.
The ponchos is good.
Yeah.
I like ponchos. I know it's frozen. It's
Yeah.
good. Or maybe it isn't frozen. I don't know. I like it.
That's good.
You like ponchos?
No.
How about the bean pot? A lot of people. I have a
I
lot of
haven't been
mixed.
there yet. I haven't been to the Bean Pot yet.
Mixed
That's the one
reviews
right
on
next
that.
to the river bend?
Right.
Yeah.
They may have another location, but I'm not sure. Any other Mexican restaurants you want to point out while we're...
That's my hottest recommendation.
Okay. Let's see what Jack has to say. Jack, how you doing?
Oh, yeah, I have a question for Lisa.
Okay.
What is there something new, like you said, with caviar? A new thing to the city that seems to be catching on in a lot of restaurants is foie gras. And I want to know if you can tell me where the best place to get foie gras, not pâté de foie gras, but the real foie gras, and a price that we could expect.
Well, the only place I know of in town that has a real foie gras, I would say, is the Eiffel Tower. But a lot of other places say that they have it, but I don't know that it's the real foie gras. It's a rarity in New Orleans. It's a rarity in France, actually, except during the holiday season. It takes about 5 months to, after you make it, has to sit in a tureen for 5 months, and it's a very expensive item. But I would say the Eiffel Tower.
I'm guessing this is a pâté of some sort?
Yes, it's like a pâté, but it's made with goose liver, and the geese were specially fattened, and it's a very expensive and lengthy thing to make.
Jack, you still there? Okay, you're not there. All right.
Hello?
Yeah.
This is Mike, though.
Oh, hi, Mike. I didn't know you were here, but welcome.
Lisa, we wanted to know if you all knew anything about that new restaurant out in Metairie called Sharky's Reef with the giant aquarium in it.
I've heard about that, but I haven't seen it. It sounds wild.
It's fantastic. It has a 135,000-gallon aquarium with sharks and coral reef fish. The food is just great.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know people have been there, but I haven't made it out there yet. It sounds interesting.
It's a seafood restaurant, right? I mean,
it's like a light gourmet restaurant.
Light gourmet.
With sharks? Sounds like my kind of place.
Okay, well, thank you
I'll
a lot.
have to try it.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay. Danny, you're on the air.
Oh, how do you do, sir?
How you doing?
Oh, great. Listen, in reference to that lady that said that the Mexican restaurant that she thought was the best in the city's Tio Pepe's, I think it's not right, sir. I think Santa Fe on Frenchman close to Elysian Fields would have to take the place on that.
Is it a very good restaurant?
Santa Fe, I forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. Santa Fe is excellent.
Is it? What would we want to get there if we go to Santa Fe?
Oh, I can't think of the menu
town.
right off the top of my head, but anything is a winner. I mean, I've been there several times, and I'd forgotten about Santa Fe. Yes, it's relatively new, and it's in the back of the quarter, and I would say it's more gourmet than Tio Pepe's. It's a cut above.
And so the food is more elaborately prepared?
Elaborately prepared, and the service is more distinctive.
And that means we're talking about a little bit more expensive, maybe?
A little more expensive, and it's also a bit more innovative.
Innovative.
Yes, it's innovative.
So there is a little difference you'll find from restaurant to restaurant, a little more imagination.
And Santa Fe's has it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling.
Helen, we got Helen on line 3. Hey. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
It's fine.
What's up?
Where's a good place to eat breakfast after the ball?
Good place to eat breakfast after the balls. What time are you talking about?
11, 12.
11, 12. Well, breakfast. You know, you can go to the Marina Grill, but that's out of the lakefront. 11 or 12 o'clock at night, Snug Harbor is open.
That's right.
Cafe on Glass stays open until midnight. If you want to just go into desserts, the Eiffel Tower again has something called Folie de Minuit, which is until midnight. And of course, the Fairmont has Bailey's, which is open all night and has very good breakfast.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for calling. You mentioned Snug Harbor, and also Little Lanny up there. You listen to some good music too. That's playing in the back room.
It's terrific. You can grab dinner and walk right in and see the show. The best jazz in town.
It's really a good show. That makes me think about what other places are there in town where you can good entertainment and good food under one roof.
Well, there is Le Continent, which is in the Hotel Intercontinental, and it's not a jazz act or anything that elaborate, but they do have guitarists, classical guitarists. Also, there's the Blue Room in the Fairmont.
Of course, the Blue Room.
And there was Tyler's, but that closed. That was good oysters. But
yes. How is the food? The Blue Room is one of the most elegant dining experiences in town. It's very nice, and the Herb Tassin Orchestra is always excellent, and there's always a good act. How's the food there?
It's very good. I recommend it. It's a bit pricey, but it's very good. If you can afford to go there and see the show, and I recommend it. It's nice.
Okay, we got Jerry on line 2. Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say how much I enjoy Lisa's articles in Gambit. I'd like her advice on some nice mid-price restaurant uptown.
Okay, thanks.
A nice mid-price restaurant uptown. What sort of food are you interested in, Jerry?
Well, just any kind of food. I like seafood, but any kind would do.
Okay.
I noticed a lot of more expensive restaurants have opened uptown, but I'd like your advice on some nice mid-price place.
Mid-price place. A good place to go is a new place called Little Annie's Cafe on Magazine Street. There's also the Boulony, which is a winner. It's a little bit higher than mid-priced. For mid-priced places, if you're into just seafood, Cafe Atchafalaya on Louisiana. There's so many places to choose from uptown. There's Flagon's, which is, I think, excellent. It's one of my favorite restaurants in the city.
It's known as a cheese bar, but is it a larger menu than that?
Oh, it's much more than a cheese bar. Yeah, it started out to be something like, it ignited the wine by the glass craze. And now they have everything from blackened redfish to dietetic menus they just introduced to caviar
That's
bar.
interesting, yeah. It's interesting.
Can I ask a second question? My black bean soup has been a little flat recently, and do you have an ingredient or something that my people don't seem to be enjoying as much as they used to?
Throw in a little sausage.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for calling. We have Roseanne on line 1. Hi, Roseanne.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Okay.
This is Roseanne. I wanted to ask Lisa a question, please.
Okay.
I wanted to know what Lisa thought was the best po' boy place.
The best po' boy place in town.
Yes.
Parasols and Mother's are my two favorite places. And Parasols is worth going to, not just for the food, but for the people there. It's just a great place to go see games on Saturdays and eat all the good fattening food there.
How about on St. Patrick's Day? It's the center of the
St. Pat's,
city.
which is coming up, that's the spot to be.
What happens there?
It goes wild. I mean, everybody comes in costumes, and you get pinched if you're not wearing green, of course. But my favorite there is the meatball po' boy.
Meatball po' boy?
Mm-hmm.
Roseanne?
Okay, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
So what makes one po' boy better than the other?
If it's real sloppy.
Sloppy? Okay. Richard, how you doing, Richard?
Yes. I want to take exception with Lisa's opinion on Mexican restaurants. It seems to me that if she thinks Tio Pepe's and Santa Fe are in the same class with, for instance, Castillo's, even the Bean Pot, both of the proprietors are from Mexico City and produce real Mexican food in comparison to Trendish is the best word that I can think of.
Well, Tio Pepe's from Mexico, too.
Well, I didn't know that, but
Yes.
I've been there. Have you been to Castillo's?
I've never been to Castillo's, I've never been to the Bean Pot, and I've never been to the Frenchman, you said? The Frenchman is not a Mexican restaurant.
I didn't mention that. You misunderstood me. I didn't use that term. I said that I thought that the ones that you mentioned were basically Trendish places, but you did say you thought they were all based the same, as I recall. There's quite a difference in a chain, for instance, or Castillo's, or even a Santa Fe, or Veracruz, for that matter. I mean, I think they're as different as you can be. You can't group them all together, just Mexican restaurants.
This is true. This is true. I'm not into Mexican restaurants, I have to confess.
No, I thought maybe that was the case. I
Yeah.
think you have an excellent knowledge of the restaurants of the city, but I think you would do well to try both the Bean Pot and Castillo.
Well, thank you so much for calling.
Thanks, Richard. Well, to each their own. I like ponchos, so that shows you where I am in this conversation, maybe. I don't know. How often do you have to go out during a week to do your column?
Well, what I generally do is, close to the weekend, I pick a restaurant, and I have a file. I have a lot of restaurants I could be doing for that. I have about 10 restaurants I want to review right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I decide on a restaurant, and I choose about 5 guinea pigs to come with me.
So I was going to ask you that. When I read your review, and I walk away, and I know the restaurant. I feel like and I'm thinking, well, if she has one meal, how does she know what?
There's no way I can eat all
There's
that
no
food.
way.
There's no way. So I choose several friends. They all come with me, and they have a great time, and give me their opinions, and I taste everything. I taste about 10 dishes per restaurant.
So it's like you do a Chinese style. Everyone kind of switches and swaps off, and you get a really...
A little taste of everything.
Do you think that you're getting objectively the food that everyone gets?
Well, it all depends. If I go in unannounced, yes, which is something, one of my favorite tricks I love to do. Just not say who I am or
Who
what
you
I'm
are, just
doing
show
there.
up.
And then towards the end, I'll interview the owner or the chef or something like that, or then call. But generally, I like to go unannounced.
Unannounced and
Yeah.
treated like everybody else.
Yeah.
We have Judy online, too. Hi, Judy.
Hi, I'm getting married, and I was wondering, Lisa, if you could recommend some places to have a rehearsal dinner.
Rehearsal dinner. How much do you want to spend?
Well, I'm not paying for it, but I think it could be a nice place. You know, maybe $30 to $50 a person.
I could recommend Arno's. Is fabulous. It's really one of my favorite restaurants in the city. Louis 16th is another good one. And I would also recommend, if you could book a room, Antoine's.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Good luck.
All right, thanks, Judy. Congratulations. Best wishes. Which one is it?
Both.
Okay, both. Listen, you were saying about how one restaurant, the service is distinguished, more distinguished. How do you know you're getting good service? You want to go out and you're spending a lot of money. I'm sure we all like to be waited on with good service. What details that? What does it entail?
Well, when you're seated and your waiter comes up to you and he does and says, "Hello, my name's George, and I'm going to tell you about the menu for 15 minutes before you open your mouth," and act uninterested. I don't like that approach. I like quick service.
You don't like too much chatty?
Well, when they come to your table and they start orating for 10 minutes and you can't get a word in about to order a drink or, you know, whatever you want, that's kind of annoying. But basically, fast service is the best quality, and attentiveness. That's what I look for in service.
Okay. Lisa, I think our time is up. And boy, it's been a very fast half hour. It's been a real pleasure to talk to someone who knows so much about food. I've got to go out and eat some of it now.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Pleasure.
I hope you come back.
I will.
All righty.
Okay.
Till next week. That's it.